We've talked a bit about how the second Trump administration is going to be much more corrupt than the first one, especially when we look at figures like Elon Musk, who has pretty much donned the title of co-president just because he was able to spread millions upon millions of dollars around. But if you want to support independent progressive media and help me make it to 1,000 subscribers, please do remember to hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to make it to 1,000 before the end of the year, and I would very much appreciate your support. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I went to vote this November, there was not an option on my ballot for a co-president. But that is pretty much the role Elon Musk has been playing now that Donald Trump has been reelected. And now him and Vivek Ramaswamy are running around Capitol Hill like they own the spot. And you might try to say that we've had problems with money in politics for quite some time now. But I'm here to inform you that this is a uniquely corrupt situation. I don't think there is another figure in history that we can point to that was able to pepper an incoming president with millions upon millions of dollars only to be handed the keys to the castle when everything was said and done. And, I mean, Elon only had to spend a cool $250 million to get himself here.
We have new details on his campaign spending. Elon Musk spent $250 million to elect Donald Trump this year, much of it donated in the last weeks of the campaign, so it wouldn't come out until after the election. That's the way this reporting works. It's an insane amount of money. But look at the returns. Investors are suddenly very bullish on Musk's companies. He's been hanging around at Mar-a-Lago, weighing in on hiring decisions, joining a call between Trump and the Ukrainian president for some reason. He's been called co-president by some in Trump world.
Wasn't it Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk that kept on whining about all of these unelected bureaucrats in our federal government? These two are much worse than federal bureaucrats. At least when civil servants show up for work each day, they are there to serve the American people. These wealthy billionaires are not interested in helping the American people. They are interested in helping themselves. They are interested in rigging the game in their favor. And this is not a new strategy. We've seen this type of authoritarian dealing all over the globe. You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. But you just need to make sure that money keeps on rolling in.
There's plenty of billionaires jockeying for status in Trump's stable of oligarchs, hoping to be the government behind the government, especially big tech billionaires like Musk. As 4 of The Atlantic puts it, there's a distinct twist to the aims of the big tech oligarchs. They don't simply want to insulate themselves from regulators and courts. Ultimately, they want to exploit their relationship with the government in order to supplant it. They want to be the ones who gain control of programs and systems that were once the purview of the state. Their alliance with Trump is, at bottom, a power grab.
It's exactly right. This is a corrupt power grab. These wealthy billionaires, especially somebody like Elon Musk, who has multiple companies, somebody who has multiple federal contracts, wants to take over the system and write his own rules. He doesn't want to be limited by the federal government, whether it be with federal agencies or regulations. He wants a wide open road. And he's going to be right next to Trump, trying to influence these types of policies along the way. And this is not normal. This is not how our government is supposed to be run. And we should not normalize this corrupt behavior. I want to take a look at the different ways that Elon Musk is going or could benefit from being this close to power. We already know that Donald Trump gave him his own fake agency called DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. And I call it a fake agency because agencies are typically established by Congress. This one was not. This was just whipped up out of the blue, and because it didn't go through the normal processes, that means they're not going to be accountable to anyone. They don't have to be accountable to senators or House members, especially not the American people. And so what do they want to do at DOGE? They want to cut spending and regulations. Let's take a look.
That Musk and Ramaswamy will work from outside of government in partnership with the Office of Management and Budget. That setup will not require either one of them to divest anything, to pass a background check, or to get Senate confirmation.
Even as an advisor, the position could be a powerful boost to Musk's business interests.
The number one way Elon Musk and his companies would benefit from a Trump administration is through deregulation and defanging, giving fewer resources to federal agencies tasked with oversight of him and his businesses.
As head of the Government Efficiency Commission, Musk has said that he plans to shave off a significant amount of dollars from the federal budget.
So because they didn't establish this agency in a way that agencies are supposed to be established through Congress, they don't have to divest from any of their businesses. They don't have to go through any background checks like other federal employees would have to go. And then what else did she say? That they don't have to be Senate confirmed. So they don't have to be accountable to our elected officials. Is this the type of government that MAGA really signed up for? Is this type of blatant corruption going to be the new normal? This is absolutely despicable behavior. And we already know that Elon Musk has a toddler-like understanding of what our government does or how it works. I mean, just listen to him here talk about federal agencies. Listen to how he conceptualizes these federal agencies.
Musk has also suggested that he will consolidate some of the country's over 400 federal agencies.
I think there's something like 428 federal agencies. That's almost 2 agencies per year since the founding of the country, and more being created. And so I call this like sort of strangulation by overregulation.
The problem with this line of thinking is that he is not providing any evidence that he is being overregulated. And why would the absolute amount of federal agencies matter at all? Who cares if there are 2 for every year after the founding of the country? It shouldn't matter how many agencies there are. We should be creating these agencies that are going to craft the society that we want to live in, whether that means there are only 3 agencies or there are 500 agencies. The absolute number should not matter. But in Elon Musk's world, he is thinking, what, small government? So the higher the number, the worse it is? I mean, this is completely elementary way to look at our government. He doesn't know what these agencies do. He doesn't know how they regulate. He doesn't know which agencies he wants to get rid of or why we would get rid of them. We should be looking at these agencies one by one. If they are fulfilling a specific purpose for the American people, then they should stick around. But because Elon Musk wants to take a wrecking ball to our federal government, we might be seeing these agencies disappear one by one, even if they're good for the American people. And then we have other things like the National Highway Safety Administration, which has been a thorn in Elon Musk's side because of Tesla. I mean, just look at the types of benefits Elon Musk might expect being in the Trump administration.
Then there's a National Highway Transportation Safety Administration. That is a big barrier for Musk's ambitions in robo-taxis.
The agency has been a strict watchdog when it comes to the safety of Tesla's vehicles.
This is a major recall Tesla is announcing after an investigation by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Tesla is recalling 362,000 vehicles.
Tesla shares taking a leg lower late today after the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration found a critical safety gap in its autopilot system.
Meanwhile, testing standards for autonomous vehicles are done on a state-by-state basis, something Musk has said he would like to be standardized through a federal process, and Trump has said he will support.
Musk has said that he wants to get the DOT to instate a federal motor vehicle safety standard that would allow you basically like a super pass. You know, you just meet this one standard and then you can use your robotaxis anywhere in the country.
So obviously, the National Highway Safety Administration was obviously established to help the American people, to keep the American people safe. But because they regulate something like robo-taxis or other vehicle type issues, Elon Musk might want to do away with these things or soften the regulations that were going to put more Americans at risk. And to think that you're just going to go in and override all the state regulations seems pretty wild to me as well. This is not the type of behavior that we should be normalizing in our federal government. We need to help people understand that regulations aren't bad by necessity. Many regulations are there to keep Americans safe, to make sure that we are prospering, to make sure that we are making clean air or clean water. Regulations are not bad by default, but that seems to be the exact mentality that somebody like Elon Musk has. And because he's going to be so close to Trump, it's very likely that he's going to have influence over these regulations. And I'll show you one more video because I think this is also important. Elon Musk is under investigation for multiple things right now. And do you think he's going to benefit by the incoming Trump administration when it comes to these investigations?
A weakened regulatory body might also bolster Musk's fight against the numerous probes and investigations he and his companies are facing from federal agencies.
There's somewhere in the ballpark of 19 or 20 federal probes and lawsuits involving Musk and federal agencies. There are OSHA investigations into safety issues at Tesla and SpaceX that are open. There's an EEOC civil rights investigation into Tesla. They believe that Tesla allowed racist discrimination and retaliation against Black employees to happen for years. The Labor Board is investigating SpaceX for possible alleged retaliation against employees who spoke critically of Musk with this open letter. Additionally, the SEC is investigating whether Elon and his brother have committed securities fraud. The EPA, they found SpaceX was in violation of the Clean Water Act in Texas, and he was livid about that, which delayed the Starship launches that he wanted to go forward with. And then you've got all the Department of Transportation safety probes. There are 4 open currently, looking into mostly safety defects around autopilot, FSD, and these partially automated driving systems that Tesla's had out on public roads. He's hoping that Trump will, force those agencies to wind down and abandon any probes, charges, litigation they were pursuing against him, against Tesla, against SpaceX, and so forth.
So there's up to 20 separate investigations into various misconduct across all of his different companies. Of course, he's going to want to wind that stuff down. And because he's in Donald Trump's pocket, and because Trump is the head of the executive branch where many of these investigations are taking place, he's going to have the power and influence to do just that. And I find it particularly disgusting that we have somebody like Elon Musk who immigrated into this country and took advantage of our infrastructure and took advantage of our universities where he was able to hire some of the greatest minds in the world. He took advantage of our regulatory state that made sure his workers were healthy and well enough to show up for work each day. He took advantage of all of these great things America has to offer, and now he is coming into the government like a robber baron because he doesn't want to play by the very same rules that got him ahead. The richest man in the world, everybody, and we should not normalize this blatant corruption. And that's exactly what it is. The White House is for sale, baby, and Elon Musk is the guy that is figuring it out. But I'll leave it there for now. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share it with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. Like I said, I'm trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and I would very much appreciate your support. If you want to see just how devastating mass deportations would be to this country, go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one.